Hello, what is up, JMA fans? Josh here speaking. Today we're gonna be taking a look at the new Figma Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen. I know many of you weren't exactly excited for the Figma versions, but hey, this is still Jujutsu Kaisen, and if you're a fan of the series, I'm sure it will catch your interest regardless. Now, taking a closer look at the figure itself, here we have Yuji straight out of the packaging, and as you can see, he does look really great. Something that I really like on Figmas is that they always use matte finish on their paintwork, making their figures look very smooth and clean. However, you will notice down here that the knee joints do kind of stand out a bit, and once you start posing him around, the proportions will look a little off. But personally, it doesn't really bother me that much. I can see why some people might be bothered by it, but I mean, I've seen worse. Now, taking a look at the accessories, first we do get our average Figma stand, which you can plug in on Yuji's back, and that does work pretty well. We get the instruction sheet, and of course the Figma bag, where you can store all of the accessories in case you don't want to keep the box. He then comes with a pair of curse energy effects, which I do believe is called KT, and that does plug in on his fist, and they do look really good. And then of course he also comes with the black flash effect, which is yet again another great looking effect for this figure. Yuji then comes with 4 pairs of interchangeable hands, 1 accessory hand, and a spare wrist joint. The first set of hands that he came with in the package are the fisted hands that you've seen already. He comes with a pair of open palm hands, karate chopping hands, thumbs up hands, a pair of gripping hands for holding any Figma accessories like this, and then last but not least, he does come with a Deidara hand. Moving on to facial expressions, we do get 4 different faceplates for Yuji, which is great. The first one being the happy smiling face that you've seen already, which really captures the character so well. Some people say that the smiling face isn't really needed because Yuji hasn't smiled for a long time in the manga, and well, I'm sorry manga readers, but may I remind you that not everyone reads the manga. Anime-only fans doesn't know the Yuji after the Shibuya arc. All they know is the Yuji that we've seen from the anime. So I think it just makes sense for us to get a smiling face for Yuji because it's also a part of his character. Yuji is a very friendly guy who would probably laugh with any type of person, even those that doesn't want to be around him. The second facial expression is the serious face, which is yet again another great looking faceplate, and then next he comes with an angry shouting face, which sadly for me the left eye seems to be slightly off-centered, and then his last face is of course the Sukuna faceplate, which looks so good as well. The hairpiece is also a swappable part, which you can use both on Sukuna and on Yuji if you want to give him a much more dynamic look or whatever. That does work both ways. Now moving on to articulation, his head can look up at a pretty decent range. He can look all the way down, and he can of course turn his head all around. His arms can move up, can move all the way in, and oh man, this surprised the heck out of me when I first saw it. Figma actually added real butterfly joints on this figure, which they normally don't do. But anyways, his arms can move outward really good, and then the elbows can move all the way in as well. We got some rotation at the wrist, can move down, up, ab crunch can move forward and slightly backwards. Rotation at the waist and at the torso. Legs can move back all the way up to his front, all the way to the side. Great knee bend. Rotation at the foot. Can move up and down. And of course, you've got the ankle pivot. Now for some height comparisons, unfortunately, I do not have any of the S.H.Figuarts Jujutsu Kaisen figures to compare him with, but I do have the recent Naruto and Sasuke figures from the same line. And as you can see, he is still a little bit taller than Naruto and Sasuke, which is just right. I did a little bit of research and I realized that Yuji is 5'8", so he should be taller than Naruto. On the other side, we have Saitama and Genos from Dasen Model, and I think he scales pretty well with these guys too. Next here we have a couple of random Figmas that I have around. We got Megumin and Kazuma from Konosuba, and then Kirito and Asuna ALO versions from Sword Art Online on the other side. As you can see, he is still taller, even with figures from the same line, although his head kinda makes him look like a small figure, which is weird. Anyways, here we have him next to the Figma Uraraka, as well as the Rivaltech Amazing Yamaguchi Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. And again, his head makes him look like a small figure next to them, but somehow his height still keeps up with the rest of them, except for Todoroki though. Todoroki should be the tallest out of everyone here. And then lastly, just for some non-anime crossovers, here we have him next to the Marvel Legends movie Deadpool, the Sentinel Miles Morales, and the Mafex Peter B. Parker Spider-Man. And now finally, for the conclusion of this video, personally I'd have to say that I think this has to be one of the best releases we've gotten from Figma in a while. This figure is not by any means like over the top or figure of the year level of greatness, but I mean it still has its issues, like the head just pops off easily if you try to move it around too much, and his D-joints do stand out a bit as I've mentioned earlier. But is that enough to say that this is a bad figure? Actually, no. He is a great figure, and if you were to ask me whether this is worth getting over the S.H.Figuarts, well, that's entirely up to you. If you got the money and you want the accessories on the Figma, then go for it. The accessories are great. The figure is great. However, if you do already have the S.H.Figuarts or just couldn't afford the Figma, then I think you're still good. The SHF is actually cheaper compared to the Figma, and even if it doesn't come with a black flash or a smiling face, Tamashii Nations is going too deep into that line. I'm pretty sure they'll be releasing more faceplates for Yuji when they release more characters. So here is my action figure tier list. All of the figures you see right here are all the figures that I currently own or have owned in the past. If you watched my previous reviews, you may have noticed that some figures are in different places now. That's because over time I just felt like maybe this figure's not that good after all, or maybe I've set this one too low. So I've repositioned some figures and tried to make it look as accurate as possible. And right now, Figma Yuji, in my opinion, is gonna be going to S tier. I think I pretty much got everything I need for Yuji with this Figma. I love the accessories, great articulation, and his issues are stuff that I can handle. So yeah, man, I'm pretty much satisfied with this release, so got no problems there. But enough about my opinion, what about yours? Do you think this guy's worth the extra money, or would you rather go with the SHF? Or are you gonna be getting both? Whatever your thoughts are, leave them all down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, then please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. S.H.Figuarts Sakura will be my next review, and then after that we're finally gonna be getting started on Fig Film Heroes episode 11. If you're new to this channel, Fig Film Heroes is my own crossover series that focuses on My Hero Academia, One Punch Man, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and many more as the series continues to introduce more characters. But anyways, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching my video. Hope you guys will stick around for the next ones, and wish you all have a great day. Peace out.